to share with you a little bit about what's been on my mind lately. And today's title is Unkink Your Hose, right? And I've just been in this realization of how little we need to do, really, how little there is actually to do to make things happen. So I'm super excited to share with you today a little bit about that. And I'm just looking forward to this conversation. There's been so much going on. I was looking, well, we're waiting for a little traffic to build. I'll tell you a little story. I was looking really at some things that were going on in the marina today, right? So I was in the marina and just watching what was happening. First, there's a guy on his paddleboard going by, right? So you see the single guy on a paddleboard. And then there was a couple in a double kayak. Hey, Karen, how are you? Great to see you. Hey, Jenna, Bree, great to see everybody. Welcome from the river of Mississippi. Nice to see y'all. Thank you. I'm have to tell you, it's not showing that there's anybody on here, but I'm getting messages. So something's up with Restream. I don't know, but I'm glad. Let me know through the messages that you're here and you're hearing me, because I'm thinking nobody's hearing this. So thank you so much. Thank you. Great to see you, Phoebe, Dina. Yes, wonderful. Okay, so there's something going on with Restream, which is the platform that we use, but it's showing that there's nobody watching, but you guys are sending in texts on the chat. So thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you. All right, perfect. Well, I'm just going to keep talking then. Forget Restream. We're just going to talk. Thank you all so much for being here. So here's what I was thinking about. Excuse me. Here's what I've been thinking about. I've been thinking about this idea of flow, of universal flow. So many things have happened in my life recently that it has just been amazing to realize how all these things that I was worrying about, I didn't need to worry about because they all got handled, right? And I think this is the notion of really being in flow and really allowing things. So unkinking the hose is this idea of we're the ones that cause the blockage. We're the ones. Hey, Dorota, Mary, great, beautiful. And Bree, thank you for letting me know that you're saying 24 watching because mine isn't. I'm so grateful. So here's the deal. When we are in alignment, things flow. When we are fighting, things don't flow, right? That's the simplest, artful way to describe it. And what I have seen, I'm going to share with you how I got to rythmia, because I think it's a great story for identifying how things are being handled already, and we don't have to worry about it. And it requires a surrender and patience and faith and trust. Okay, so, for a long time in my life, I wondered when the hell I was going to pull my head out of my ass and figure this out. What am I supposed to do with my life? And this was well into my 40s. I was feeling this way. I have done a bunch of things in life. I did stand-up comedy. I worked in the petroleum industry, importing petroleum products into Mexico. I worked on a ranch in Mexico. I helped manage an armored car company in Tijuana. Crazy. I taught at the University of Guadalajara and the University Panamericana. I taught on the university level. I taught industrial engineering and English down in Guadalajara. I have run hotel and restaurant, food and beverage departments. I've run fine dining restaurants. I was a sales manager at a yacht company. What else? I ran nightclubs, like everything. All of these. It sounds great. Lived in Mexico, did all this stuff, live in LA. All really cool, right? But no through line. No, in college, I would speak with friends and they would say, oh, I want to be a doctor. And now they're running a hospital. I want to be a lawyer. Now they're partners in the firm. Where's my through line, right? They had a singularity of purpose. That's what I thought. I'm missing a singularity of purpose. And that's what I thought for the longest time. And I really was, wondering, like, am I going to find myself 20 years from now in a position where I'm struggling, not having a good job or being able to retire because I didn't really establish myself, like all of those worries, right? Really big worries about life. How am I going to retire? How am I going to have money to do this? All that was, bothering me, worrying me. And, my brother and teacher and mentor, Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith says, worrying is like paying interest on money you haven't borrowed yet. Right? Worrying is like paying interest on money you haven't borrowed yet. And I'm sorry, I just saw Tornado Joe's, he thought this was a urological cure. Well, we can get into that later, Joe, but that's very funny. So here it is. Here I was thinking my life was wasted. Here I was thinking that I didn't have a through line. I flitted from thing to thing. I've wasted my life. And then I got a call to go to Rythmia. Now, at the time that I got the call to go to Rythmia, I was the sales manager at a yacht company in Marina del Rey, and I was studying at Agape to become a licensed spiritual practitioner. And I thought the direction was going to be, thank you, Emmanuel from Ghana, my brother. You still haven't told me, Emmanuel, if you know Brother Ishmael Teta. Are you in Accra? Where are you, man? Let me know. Okay, so I was the sales manager at the yacht company, and I was also studying to be a practitioner, just getting ready to get my license, right? And life was feeling like kind of crazy because the yacht company, not only we were selling yachts, but we also rented yachts, chartered them, right? Because these were big yachts. And so, I would be at Agape studying all this spiritual stuff. And Lauren, I want to talk to you about 111 and 444. I was studying the spiritual principle, being of service, being with high-minded people, talking about God and love and beauty and intelligence and infinite wisdom and everything. And then I would go to work at the yacht company, and there would be people having these crazy Hollywood parties with drugs and women strippers. It'd be like, one of these things is not like the other. You know what I mean? So I felt this contradiction. And then I get a call from Rythmia, and they said, hey, we need you to come down. It was a friend of mine that introduced them to me. And I went down, and Cape Coast. Oh my God. Sorry. Emmanuel just typed in where he was at. I have an amazing story from Cape Coast. It was really one of the most profound times in Ghana. So I get this call to Rythmia, and I go down. And over the course, I've been there for 3 years. Over the course of those years, I have seen that my full self-expression is being called forth at Rythmia. And that every one of those jobs that I had, that for like 20 plus years, I thought I was a fool, not smart, not having a singularity of purpose. I haven't been a good planner. I was like, I wish I just went to business school and, studied finance and got a job, and then I have security and all that stuff, right? For years. And here I am at Rythmia, and every single thing that I did is being used. Hotel and restaurant management, hospitality in general, speaking and teaching, the spiritual practitioner part, all of the studies that I did at Agape, international business, Spanish, every aspect of what I did is now preparation. But for years, I was living in a life that I thought was wasted. And that was the energy that I was putting into it. I'm living this wasted life. And then suddenly, and it took years for something to shift. And all of a sudden, All the years that the locusts have eaten away were given back to me. Dina, I hear you. Ina, I hear you. Kara, I hear you. Yes, right? And Josand, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad this is resonating with you. It's the story of my life too, right? And this shifted from a wasted life to a life in preparation. A lot, and this is what I mean by all the years the locusts have eaten away shall be given back to you. Everything is working together for our good. It requires a little bit of patience. It requires faith. It requires trust. It requires awareness. All of those things, we just got to keep chopping wood and carrying water. We just have to keep not waiting, but there's an expectancy that good is coming. There's a piece of us being happy in this moment now, right? So I didn't know what was, I've never been that person that's like, well, my 5-year plan, my 5-year plan is that I'm going to be doing this in 5 years. I was never the 5-year plan guy, ever. I couldn't put that together if you asked me to. And I thought that was a defect as well. But I knew in general, gee, I'd love to travel. I love speaking and teaching. I love being in front of people. Like, I'm just a show off. I like it. Okay. That's the way I'm built. I like it. And thank you, Kira. Thank you, Josand. Thank you, Izo, Worcester Izo. Thank you. So here's what I want to share with you around that, right? That it took patience during that time. It took trust. I knew in general what I wanted. I knew in general the sort of idea of what resonated with me, but I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know how it would look, right? Because if I had my 5-year plan and I said, well, in 5 years, I want to be speaking and teaching at 1440 in California, I could make that happen. But Costa Rica is a lot cooler. I mean, don't get me wrong, 1440 is super cool. But, the idea is that Costa Rica wasn't on my radar. Costa Rica wasn't in my field of awareness. Rythmia wasn't in my field of awareness. So when we plan, right, and have a 5-year plan, it's good to be specific, but then that also limits the possibilities, right? That limits the possibilities because you're only able to create from what you know. I didn't know that I didn't know that Rythmia was there. And it came into my awareness without me having to do anything except chop wood and carry water, go to work and do my job, do my spiritual practice, study. That's what I was doing. I was studying at Agape. I was taking classes. I was volunteering. I was participating. Right? All of these things keep us grounded in the moment. And here is what I wanted to tell you about unkinking your hose, universal flow, right? Universal flow, unkink your hose, because there's a universal flow of goodness that is seeking to express in, through, and as each one of us. It's not just that somebody's special and you're not, or somebody else is special and I'm not. It's that nobody's special, but everybody's unique. Everybody has gifts and talents that are unique to them, that are seeking to be expressed. And when you can find that thing within you, no matter how ridiculous it seems, when you find that thing that calls you forth, life will lead you, life will meet you, and you need not struggle. You need only unkink the hose and open up to the universal flow of goodness. Now, what do I mean by unkink the hose? I mean that we have to get out of the way, right? We have to stop the worry, doubt, and fear. Remember, worries like paying interest on money you haven't borrowed yet. All of the limiting thought forms that lower our vibration. Those are the things that we have to do in order to unkink the hose. We have to come into alignment with the truth of our being. And that means to stop trying to make something different than it is. There's a level of acceptance that must come into play. And by that, I mean almost give up all hope. Now, I know you guys are going to be like, give up all hope? That doesn't sound very inspirational, John, right? Thank you, Cam. That's a great line. When your hands are closed, you can't accept the gift. And Bree, thank you. I remember you were there in March. I remember that. So look, here's the deal. Um, uh, all of the things that lower our vibrational frequency. Yes, meditation, breath work, community, fellowship, sacred study, sacred service, volunteering, all of those things help us get into flow, get into the flow of life and join in, right? That's what we must do. This idea that I have to make it happen. People can make it happen. You can make it happen, absolutely. But that's an exhaustible form of work. That's an exhaustible source of energy. So I started out this talk talking about what I saw in the marina. I saw a guy go by on a paddleboard. I saw a couple go by on a tandem canoe. And then I saw a boat go by, a motorboat. And then I saw a sailboat, right? Now, out of all of those, there's one form of inexhaustible energy. That's the sailboat. The power boat's going to get you there, probably going to get you there faster. Like you're making it happen, right? But then you're going to run out of gas. And then you just have a boat that's floating at the whim of the ocean. The paddleboard and the kayak, those are great. Your power, right? That'll only get you so far under your own power. The sailboat relies on an inexhaustible form, the wind. And it might, there's the doldrums for sure. There's the doldrums. However, the wind will always come back. There'll always be some wind and you can catch it. And when you catch the wind on a sailboat, have you ever been in a sailboat before? It is beautiful. It is like there's no noise. There's just the wind and the boat being moved along the sea of infinite intelligence and wisdom, right? So, Charlie, thank you. I love you too, man. Thank you. So this is the reality is that there is an inexhaustible, infinite source of energy. Yes, path of no resistance, inexhaustible source of energy upon which we can rely. It's called God. It's called the universal presence. It's called love, beauty, intelligence. It's called the unified field. It's called infinite intelligence. This is what we can rely on. It is that source. Now that source isn't visible. It's not in it is in everything. It's in, through, and as everything. However, right, its evidence is in, through, and its evidence is in the sea. Its evidence is in the rose blossom. Its evidence is in the tree. Its evidence is in the bird. Its evidence of its existence is in you and me. We are physical manifestations of this source that is invisible. We are the formed expression of the formless source, the substance of life itself. Now, that's the wind, right? You can feel, you can't see it. You can feel it. It's going to move you along. We must unkink our hose, unfurl our sails, and catch this universal flow of goodness and allow it to carry us, because there is something greater than you could ever imagine, something greater than your wildest dreams awaiting you. And it's beyond what we can conceive of, because what we can conceive of is from the past. I only know what I know from what I've experienced. There's a whole realm of stuff that I don't know. That's what I want to clue into. That's what I want to catch in my unfurled sails and let it take me, right? This is where we must step into being responsible for our own mental state of being, keeping ourselves lifted in high consciousness through our spiritual practices of meditation and breath work and movement and community and fellowship and doing retreats and plant medicine and volunteering and sacred study. You've got to study. We've got to study. We've got to be in community. We've got to do good things out in the world. You do those things, and the universal flow, that keeps yourself lifted in high consciousness, and you will watch things unfold better than you could have ever imagined, because it's beyond what you know. It's outside of what you know, then our job isn't necessarily to do anything. The correct course of action will reveal itself. Our job is to keep ourselves lifted in high consciousness, to associate ourselves with people that keep our souls animated in the right direction. This is what we are to do. And life will lead us. The correct course of action will reveal itself. This is the truth. I had an experience this last week. I can't go into the details of it, but I'll tell you, I was listening to spirit. Not, it's not like a voice, JJ, you should invite this person over for dinner. Okay, God, thank you. No, it's like, this idea. We have to be attentive. We have to keep our minds clear so we can catch what's seeking to emerge, right? So there's, you know what? I should call that person. Call them. Oh, you know what? I should have so-and-so over for dinner. That sounds like a really great idea. I'll get to it. No, invite them. Get the date set. I did that. Hey, I feel this. I want to invite this person over for dinner, and then, but I want some one-on-one time with this person. But I also want to have this other person come over. I arranged it last week. I had a friend come over for sunset. We watched the sunset, and then another friend came and joined us, and we had dinner. And that's really my intention, was just to join people, join with my friends and have a little dinner in a safe, setting. And something really great emerged out of that. Some amazing possibility that was a complete serendipity. And if I hadn't just listened to that nudge, and the reason I can't talk about it is it's not fulfilled yet. It might not happen. It might happen. Who knows? All these things come and go. But even the possibility of it is the sign that we need not struggle. The struggle is not real. We need not strive. We need not force things. We need not make anything happen. We need only keep ourselves lifted in high consciousness by doing our practice and volunteering and being of service in the world and trying to be to make people's lives around us a little better. That's it. And life will lead you. Things will come into your experience that are beyond your greatest imagination. I love Caitlin. Thank you. For my thoughts are not your thoughts. Neither are my ways your ways. Yes, that's it. And remember this one, Caitlin. Prove me now, said the Lord of hosts, that I shall not open up the heavens and pour down a blessing too big to be contained. That's it. That's where we need to live in expectancy. Prove me now. Show me. Let me see it. Open up the heavens and rain down upon me a blessing too big to be contained. That's how we must live in this expectancy. Oh man, I'm feeling it. I hope you're feeling it too. I love your comments. Your comments are great. And so the point is that life is leading us, that there's already a wind carrying us along. We can try and fight it. We can try and make it happen. We might get there faster for a little while when we make it happen, like the power boat, but eventually that source of power runs out. When we are in flow, by unkinking our hose, by keeping ourselves lifted in high consciousness, doing our work, being present, being loving to ourselves, keep, doing our sacred study, keep excavating those parts of us. When we do that, things will emerge in our awareness and in our experience that will make you feel like you are in awe and in love with life. Now, that's not to say that visioning and visualization don't have a great place in our lives. That's keeping this alive, right? But we're not talking about, well, for me, everybody's different. For me, I can't, like I said, the specific 5-year plan, I want to be speaking to this many people by 2025. I want to have this much income. I want to be living in this place. I don't know. But here's what I do know. I want to live in abundance, an abundance of peace of mind, of health of body, and all my needs met, all material needs met, all spiritual needs met, all physical needs met. I want to answer your question, Charlie. Hold on. So my 5-year plan is more about quality. the qualities I want to experience. And yeah, I'd love to experience the freedom of travel. I'd love to experience being connected with people. I'd love to experience, you know what I want to experience? I want to experience that whatever I'm doing, I don't want to be doing anything else. Like, have you ever had that moment when you're doing something, you're like, I don't want to be anywhere than right here, what I'm doing right now. That's how I want to live life. I want to be in communion with people. I want to be in community. Community is super important to me. So my life is in abundance of peace and health and all material needs met. It is expressing my gifts and talents. I want to be fully expressed. I want to be in service. All of that. That's where my 5-year plan, and then watch the details emerge. Now, Charlie Potatoes Brown. I love what Lauren says. You can't get rid of them. You don't feed them. Here's the thing, brother. And this is really for all of us. What you resist persists, right? Plain and simple. And the only way we can change anything is by accepting it. For condemnation does not liberate. Condemnation oppresses. So don't beat yourself up for having bad vibes. The fact that you're aware of them is the first step. Just your awareness separates you a little bit from being so fused with those bad vibes. Then be gentle with yourself, man. Be gentle, like, okay, I'm feeling this way. Let me just feel this for a moment. Don't pitch a tent there, right? That's what she meant by, what Lauren meant by don't feed them. Don't pitch a tent. Don't set up camp over in Bad Vibeville. But just be like, oh, there's Bad Vibeville. I'm not feeling it today. I'm feeling this today. Okay, let me just be present to that. And it's like a bucket of muddy water. You're never going to get the mud out of the water by pushing it down. You're just going to stir stuff up. But if you sit there and watch that bucket patiently, clarity will come. The mud will settle. The water will be clear, right? So it's such a simple thing. Love you, brother Charlie. Thank you. That we just observe, be with, allow, accept. This is the other part of what has really come up for me in 2021 is harmonize all of the parts of me that I used to think I wanted to cut away. The negative thoughts, the bad vibes, these bad habits, all of that. Cut, get rid of. That's cutting off a part of myself. I'm now seeing that I need to harmonize. I need to welcome the wolf within me, the darkness and the light, the masculine and the feminine, the happiness and the sadness. I need to harmonize those so that I can be a full individual. And it is only in the harmonization that I stop fighting my own inner civil war. How can we see peace in the world outside if I don't have peace within myself? So, Charlie, thank you for this great question about the bad vibes, because it really is such a key piece. We don't want to reject anything. There's no part of us that is not worthy of love and appreciation. Even the things that you hate about yourself, those are the parts that are in most need of love, that are in most need of being brought to the light, of being brought in, of not being shunned and rejected, but being brought in and made part of the whole, incorporated, so that we're not cutting off a part of ourselves, because love is the balm. Love is the lodestone. As we love ourselves, as we follow that journey, we make peace with ourselves, and then we can make peace with others. And that's it. It's like the more I try to get out of a bad attitude, the more I'm in it, right? But when I can be with it, for just to acknowledge, like, what's going on here? What's going on? How am I'm feeling this way? Okay, let's see what's up. I'm just going to observe this for a little while. You guys have been so awesome with all the comments today. Thank you so much. I love it. I love the participation. I'm so grateful. And we're like 30 minutes now, so it's like a long talk. I want to just thank you all for joining today. I know this for each of you, that each one of you is funded by an infinite source, that you are surrounded by an infinite love and protected and guarded and guided by an infinite power. I know that you are being led into ever increasing good, into ever widening fields of awareness and an ever deeper connection with all of life. I know that everything is working together for your good. I know that everything always works out for you. Think about it. Through the darkest times you've ever had, it must have worked out because you're here right now. Everything always works out for us. Put that as your affirmation of the day. Everything always works out for me. All my needs are met. I know that right now, all your needs are met. There might be, oh, but I can't pay my rent. No, right now, right this second, right this moment, you're sitting here listening to this talk. Your needs are met right now. That's all we need. Just this moment, right here, right now, my needs are met. Then the next moment, my needs are met. And the next moment, my needs are met. This is where we want to live. Keeping ourselves lifted in high consciousness. Everything works out for me. All my needs are met. I'm being led, guided, and guarded by an infinite source, infinite intelligence, infinite beauty, infinite abundance. There's no limit. Let me see it pour down a blessing too big to be contained. All right. Woo. So grateful. Thank you all. Much love to you. Really love you all. I'm so grateful. We'll see you soon. Happy day.